we spoke, you tried to maintain that focus that you talked about, but something seemed to change from our end after the California trip. That seemed to be a barrier for whatever reason. You knew that Cliff's name was out there all this time. Was it part of you? Did you feel like a bit of a dead man walking the last 5 or 6 days as you tried to concentrate here?
No, Howard, no, not at all. And it is no different than what we demand of our athletes and our coaches, to block out distractions in this market and to conduct yourselves as a professional and to do your job accordingly. My job is no different, and that's the way I carried it out. The focus was on making decisions, contacting my counterparts, preparing for the draft, for the top prospects game, and obviously for February 26th. So not in the least.
Was there any thought or discussion on either side about you remaining in the organization in another role?
We didn't get into that, and from what I understand, that wasn't part of the thinking. No.
John, I know you're not one to point fingers, but bottom line is, for this year's team, did it underachieve?
Well, we feel we have a better team than our record reflects, and I could put that in the past tense now, without a doubt. I mean, we sat down before most of you and felt we had a playoff club, and I don't feel any differently today. We did, however, there were a couple of situations, obviously, with Wellwood and Koliakovo, who we anticipated being healthy going into camp, and did not anticipate Bell being suspended for that time, at that time. But we feel we've got a better club than our record reflects.
That was a pretty bold statement by both of you at the beginning of the year. Obviously, you guys were aware of the repercussions. Obviously, you believed it when you said that about the playoffs and the cup.
Understood. And as I've said, I am responsible and accountable for what we said for this organization and for this team. The leader has that responsibility, that accountability, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
John, you told a few of us that you'd wanted to present to the board a plan where the team didn't make the playoffs, and they insisted that you come back with a plan where the team did make the playoffs. Can you elaborate on what your thinking was those summers?
Yeah, I'm not sure anyone plans not to make the playoffs. And there are some decisions that obviously have far-reaching repercussions, and there are some approaches to handling decisions that lead up to a trade deadline, that lead up to re-signings, and those kinds of conversations happen all the time between managers and their bosses and their owners. Ours is no different.
Would you expect the board to act any differently with Cliff or the next general manager than they did with you?
Well, I certainly leave that up to our board and Cliff, as you say, and mean this when I say it. I wish nothing but the best for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Just to follow up a bit on Kevin's question, sometime in the next few months, you're going to get a phone call from somebody who's about to take this job. What advice will you give them?
Well, I will start off, first of all, with Cliff, for instance, and he's certainly been in this business long enough that he doesn't need to contact me in that regard. But I would welcome that call if it came, and certainly offer him a great deal of insight on managing relationships, conducting yourselves along with you all in the media and elsewhere. But I'm not sure that it's a conversation that's appropriate for now or in this venue.
John, there was some talk and some rumors about it that you might be offered a position within the organization. True or false?
I understand that there might have been some discussion to that end. I didn't entertain any of that discussion, and nor did I seek any.
John, can you look back on the 5 years and specific lessons perhaps learned that you would incorporate into your next opportunity as a general manager in this league?
Yeah, most certainly, Paul. Any number of decisions, any number of, you cannot replace experience. I don't mind saying, and will say firmly, I'm a better manager today than I was the day I was hired. And whether it's attending the Board of Governors meetings and an alternate governor, Obviously, all of the general managers' meetings and the discussions that are held offline with my former counterparts now throughout the league. There is a great deal of learning that goes on, and I think the greatest is knowing the difference between sitting in the chair of the general manager and sitting in any other chair in the organization.
How anxious are you, John? I know this is a very premature question. You just lost your job today, but